Oh, shit, shit. Mhm. Yay. Yeah. Ow. I have to get that set up too. Yeah, right? My shit does not work. It's fucking annoying as hell. Oh my god. All right. Let me add a Cosmo for your thing, pretty. There you go. You now have 20 Cosmos. Trying to crochet a new hat? No. Damn. Having to rip out your fucking crochet sucks. Also, congrats on first. Hey. Bat, 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 bat. You're first. Oh my gosh. We love. We love. We're gonna love it. We love it. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Booty usually beats me. True. Booty bee. Yeah. All up in here. Not in a weird way. Wow, wow. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, 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 bwap. Ah. Holy cats. What's up, Vinny? What's up, Vinny? You done did scared the fuck out me. You scared the shit out of me. Sheesh. Yeah, the alien bite attack sounds fierce. Honestly, the fucking alien, she slays. Like, let's, oh my god. Yep. Slay. What's up? The ceiling, that's what's up. Hey, Vinny, how are you doing today? How are you? Working and lurking? Vinny, I appreciate you. Thank you for the lurking. Thank you for the lurking. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I miss 2v8 like so bad. It's kind of sad. I really miss 2v8, man. I'm doing art today though, so I haven't done like a Dead by Daylight stream in a while. Nope. We're gonna make it far enough. Kofi. God damn. Hold on to your ground. Don't stop believing how you got there. Hold on to that feeling. 'Cause we're gonna make it far enough. Got a new timer for my desk. Oh, no, not the timer goes off. What? Oh my goodness. What a silly little thing. Oh, it's a gravity. Oh. Another 2, 3 months and then maybe returns again. Chaos Shuffle is pretty fun. You can kind of play Chaos Shuffle whenever, though. Like, if you really wanted to. But I don't know, y'all. Oh, man. I haven't played Farlight in forever either. Which is so silly. Hold on to that feeling. You're gonna make it far enough. When all the walls are closing, when the world's hard to bear. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Should get. Oh, you don't want to drive to Tacoma. It's like 15 minutes, but still. Oh. Mm. I see. Yeah, I really need to get some meds too. Don't stop believing now you got there. Hold on to that feeling. We're gonna make it far enough. Yeah, yeah, that would be a very lucrative business. Compassionate, compassionate care centers. We need them. Eh. When the da, 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 da. Yep, it is. It's so fucking expensive. What a bunch of bullshitteronis. Bullshitteronis. Bowl. Bullshit. When the words guys on ba-da, ba-da. Worm. World's weirdest. Literally, Pokemon, it's been so long, Vinny. It's kind of sad. It's kind of depressing. Oh, man. You're not wrong. This one, yeah. I love this cat too. YouTube. There we go. Yay. This is the world's wildest. This is the world's wildest podcast. This is the world's wildest podcast hosted by this lovely lady who is Maya Higa, and Connor O'Brien is the other guy that'll show up eventually.
It is so funny. He's got this long finger. He's on a tree, and he puts his ear on the tree, and he just taps the tree really
that
fast.
Is so skinny.
It's got a skinny, long finger.
I don't know how I feel about that, but it's cool.
So he hunts via it's acoustic hunting. Welcome to World's Wildest.
Hello. It's gonna be a good one. World's weirdest.
Connor, what do you think about my new pants?
They're pretty awesome.
You just haven't said anything about my pants yet today. Audio
I was
listeners,
saving it.
I'm wearing really fun
Kitty,
pants.
where?
They are very colorful.
Where's the cat? Or just my cat? I mean, Mike, the cat I'm
On
drawing.
brand. Today's episode is World's Weirdest, where Connor and I have brought in some of the weirdest animals we could find.
I got quite a few.
This was another day.
Oh, it was
of
sniffing her
research where I was
bats.
laughing.
Oh.
while I
Oh,
was doing
yep, there
research.
is a
I was
kitty.
so
I
excited.
see.
I think these animals are so
And they walked
funny.
off
I
camera.
got a
Yeah.
few bits in here that are gonna be really fun, I think.
Great. Well, welcome to the episode. Like and subscribe. Or give us a good review on Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or leave a comment, or subscribe to the Patreon. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Hit us up on Twitter,
Sure.
Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Let's get into it. Without further ado, my first animal is the naked mole rat.
Okay. Like from
The
Kim
naked
Possible.
mole
so.
rat.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't remember him.
'Kay.
Molly. I don't know.
That was not his
Moley?
name.
It was not his name.
We're gonna get destroyed for not knowing his name. I think most people know his name. Anyway, naked mole rat is my first animal. They are a rodent.
Okay.
They live in Eastern Africa.
And they're naked, right?
Okay, well, they do have around 100 hairs on their body for sensing,
Okay.
but they do look naked.
Okay.
They do.
They
look
have
naked.
hair. I
But
love
they're
that for
actually
them.
More closely related to
Fucking
porcupines and
weirdos.
chinchillas than they are moles or rats.
Huh? That's cool.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So they're rodents that live in Eastern Africa. They can live. Do you know how long they can live?
No.
Okay, a rat lives how long?
20?
4 or
Well,
5 years.
rats are like
If they're lucky.
2 to 4 years if
1
they're
to 2 years
lucky.
is allowed. Sorry.
Sure. 4 or 5 years, whatever.
Naked mole rats,
can live
20
up to
years?
30 years.
Jeez.
30 years?
30 years.
I was
That's
guessing
so
20.
funny for a rodent this size.
A naked mole rat can live for 30 years. I wish I only had 100 hairs on my body. I could handle being bald. Yeah, except she said the 100 hairs on their body are like sensing hairs. No.
size, they're anywhere from
Yeah,
6
like
to 16
whiskers.
inches, 15 to 41
Yo,
centimeters.
that's
So they're
wild.
small.
I don't know. That's pretty big.
And they're up to 3.3 pounds. 1.5
3
kilograms.
3
pounds
pounds?
for a
Yes.
naked
That's
mole rat.
heavy.
That's a
You get the
gigo.
size relative to a teacup.
A teacup.
Didn't.
How? Size relative to a teacup. How does that weigh 3 pounds? That's crazy.
So it's like, for the audio listeners, like the size of a thimble or a little bit. I don't know.
No.
Golf ball next to a teacup.
Sure.
Golf ball. Yeah.
Like a big golf ball. It's just the silhouette is so funny on this picture. It's got a teacup and this little naked mole rat.
Do they have
It
a
looks
tail?
So stupid. No.
It doesn't look like it has a tail in here.
The pictures that I have, I don't see tails. Wait.
I don't think tails would make sense if you're digging tunnels because that's what they do,
I think
right?
they really have tails. Maybe like really stubby ones. Anyway, yeah, so they're best known for their hairless, tubular, wrinkly bodies.
Phallic.
Sort of. But yeah, so they're they live underground, right? So they're naked, but they have around 100 hairs on their body for sensing stuff
Okay.
as they're moving around. They're virtually blind, like they can't see very well,
Okay.
which makes sense because
Just light, maybe a little bit of light.
yeah, they live underground in the dark. Really interesting thing about naked mole rats is they live in colonies or communities of guess how many?
69.
No. From anywhere from like a dozen to
Rufus.
the large Rufus.
I looked it up.
Okay. The largest colony they found was 300 individuals. Their colonies can be
Okay.
6 football fields
Oh, that's
large,
a lot.
like underground. Yeah.
Jesus.
Incredible. More importantly, or more interesting, their colonies have eusocial structures.
I was about to ask. Okay, what is a social structure?
Eusocial structure is the social structure of like ants and bees. There are only 2 mammals that have eusocial structure.
But they live in colonies. Yeah, that's wild. Them living in colonies like that. Yeah, I love rats. I love rats so much. They are such wonderful little guys. They're wonderful little pets. They're so perfect. And it is so fucking tragic how short their lives are because they're such sweet little babies. But they have such short life and it's so painful. You know what I mean? Damn, dog. I know.
So you have a
in their
queen,
colonies.
a worker. They like have all their different jobs.
They all have different jobs. Okay, so yeah. Naked mole rats and one other form of mole rat, they have a queen mole rat.
That just pumps out babies all the time.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So
That
there's several dozen rats to 300 naked mole rats, led by a dominant queen rat.
Nice.
How does she become queen? She fights to the death.
Oh.
Obviously. You can
Obviously.
pull up a picture of this. This is not a queen mole rat, but this is what a naked mole rat looks like.
Oh yeah, no tail really. Maybe it's like stubby, but that is very.
Yeah, they're
phallic
beautiful.
tooth.
They're beautiful, Maya says.
To become the queen naked mole rat, she will fight other females to the death, and then once she wins, she'll elongate the space between the vertebrae and her backbone to just become longer.
Oh, just like show that she is now queen. That's her
So
crown.
the queen is like slightly longer than the rest of the
Okay.
mole rats in the colony.
Weird.
Ah,
she gets a
queen
little bit
mole
longer.
rat.
She's the only rat, or the only naked mole rat, to have babies, right? So this is how it works with bees as
No
well.
other one.
No other females will have babies.
Wow.
Males will only mate with her, and she will have babies.
That's
She can
crazy.
have babies up to 5 times a year,
How
up
many?
to, guess,
No.
3 to 5.
100.
hint. It is the largest litter size of any mammal.
I would say, if I would guess, like large, like
50?
largest, so 12, so 15.
30.
30?
30?
She can have up to 30 babies per litter.
Per litter?
All of them?
Yeah, they have 12
give
nipples.
12
Gotta rotate
nipples.
out, I guess.
That is so much nutrients needed. That's so much work.
Well, it's great that she's the queen because part of the other mole rat's jobs is to bring her food and tend to the queen.
Yeah.
Just like ants, they'll go out and forage for roots and tubes and bring them back to the queen.
So she can have up to 30 babies 5 times a year. So 150 babies in a year, and could live up to be 30. When do they sexually mature?
1-year-olds. 1-year-old.
So 29 years, 29 times 150. No clue. Let's see. Nope, that's calendar, not calculator. What is that? 150 times 29. 4,350. That is so many.
Baby
Their
naked mole
mortality
rats.
rate has to be crazy.
I'm not sure what their mortality rate is, but they are least concern.
Yeah.
Well, they're least concerned, so they're not
I
endangered.
bet
That's
30
cool.
In the zoo settings where there's plenty of nutrients and like there's no scarcity, I bet just like every other mammal, based on how much food's being brought in, will be the amount of babies they have.
Probably.
So that
Probably.
makes sense. Yeah.
The other interesting thing about their colonies is they have chambers in their colonies that are for specific things. So they'll have chambers for nursing, chambers for food storage, chambers for defecation, like literally like a toilet.
That's so cool.
It's like a mansion with a bunch of rooms for different things, which is so interesting.
That's
sorry,
awesome. They're like little dwarves.
I just saw another picture of one of them.
Diggy.
They're
Oh.
front teeth.
Oh no.
They have 2 front teeth. Their 2 front teeth. Sorry, audio listeners. We're looking at a picture of a naked mole rat, and it looks like it's incredibly phallic. I don't. It's just so phallic, and wrinkly, and it has these tiny little eyes. It kind of looks like a rat if it was fat and like really wrinkly and had really small eyes.
So do they dig with their teeth? Because it doesn't look like they have like nails really.
They dig with they have hair in between their fingers. It helps them dig a little bit.
Oh.
Ew. Okay, come on,
and
get
then
off.
They chew through things.
Whisper,
with their
get
teeth.
down.
So these 2
on.
front teeth are
get down.
they can move independently,
down.
like
What?
Come on.
chopsticks.
That's cool.
Yeah, kind of freaky. So they can move them like chopsticks. They have been observed to chew through concrete.
Oh my god.
Hold on. She just said that they can move their front teeth like chopsticks. I'm sorry. What?
Or they can move independently. Like
What?
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
and they
what?
chew through things with their teeth. So these 2 front teeth are they can move independently, like
What?
chopsticks.
That's cool.
Yeah, kind of freaky. So they can move them like chopsticks. They have been observed to chew through concrete.
Oh my god.
So funny.
How can they chew
I
through
have some other fun
concrete?
Facts about them.
What do they eat?
Their poop.
What?
They just eat their
They
own
eat their
poop?
poop? That doesn't make sense. What? They eat the dirt?
No, okay. They eat roots and tubular vegetables.
Okay.
No, but they eat their own poop
Oh.
as well. In addition, because roots and tubers are hard to digest, and their intestines are full of these microorganisms that help
Right.
them digest them, and so eating their poop aids in nutrient absorption because
I could
they
run
can
into
go
it a few
again.
times.
Yeah.
That's
They
crazy.
just get a second shot. Also, they also roll in their poop.
No.
Okay.
They also roll in their poop. It helps with scent ID. So because they're
Oh.
blind,
Right.
essentially, and they're running around in their little homes, they acknowledge each other by scent.
Okay.
So they all roll in each other's poops so that they know.
Ew.
It smells like, oh, this is my poop chamber. Is what it smells like.
This is my
Nice.
poop
Yeah.
chamber.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Another funny thing about naked mole
I
rats,
fucking love this
so
podcast.
they live underground, so not a lot of airflow.
And they're not like living really deep because like roots don't go down super far.
Yeah, I don't
right?
think it's crazy deep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far down they live, but because they're underground, not a lot of airflow, and because they can
Mhm.
have colonies of up to 300, so they're packed in there.
Mm-hmm.
They've adapted to being underground and not having a ton of fresh air. Guess how long they can survive without oxygen?
I know they're good about surviving in low oxygen environments because I saw that during my research. But no oxygen, 5 minutes.
18.
18 minutes?
18 minutes.
That's
They can
really
survive without oxygen. They live in their tunnels. The CO2
Mhm.
levels in their tunnels, the percentage of CO2 in their tunnels is 7 to 10%.
good. Jeez.
7 to 10%. Our atmospheric CO2 levels on Earth are like 0.04, 0.05%.
Holy
10%
shit.
CO2 concentration in our atmosphere, we would all be having
Dead.
convulsions and in
Oh.
comas and dead. Yeah, and they just live in that.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
god.
It's actually insane. In a lab setting, this is really sad. Lab stuff can be really sad.
Yeah, it was
But-
like
Yeah.
how they have to stop the oxygen, and hopefully they're measuring the blood oxygen levels so they can then turn the oxygen back on before it dies. No.
There was a lab setting where they set a chamber with 5% oxygen in it,
Yeah.
and mice in there lasted 15 minutes, and then
Sad.
they died. And naked mole rats lasted 5 hours
Pros.
with 5% oxygen. They also, I wish I had my book, because I read this book. What's it called? It's called An Immense World. Would recommend. Great book. And I was reading a study in there, and I wish I had it. I don't. I remember reading about naked mole rats because they were testing the levels of CO2 that they could withstand.
Mhm.
And they put them in a tank, and one side had like a really high concentration CO2 and the other didn't. And they just kept cranking it up and cranking it up. And in the lab, they were like, what is going on? Like, these things are
They're just living.
immortal. Like, they're
Right.
invincible. What is going And when it got, I forget what the percentage was, but it got to such a high level that it was ridiculous. But the naked mole rat just turned around and walked to the other side of the chamber.
Like the concentrated side or the
The other side, the
okay.
non-concentrated side. He just like up and he was like, all right, that's enough. And he just walked to the other side and was fine. Like,
That's
no
crazy.
brain damage, no oxygen depletion does crazy things to our brains,
Mhm.
but they're fine.
Tiny brains.
They're fine.
That's
Something
wild.
about rewiring their bodies to use fructose for making energy instead of glucose, which makes them less sensitive to oxygen depletion. I didn't really go into all of that or why that's the case.
You don't remember the Krebs cycle, the what are the other cycles? Citric acid cycles.
Citric acid cycle, it's been a very long time.
CH1206. Sugar. We'll go into it later.
C12.
C6H1206.
C6H1206.
Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Connor's
Extra
biology
flex.
major. He knows that stuff. I don't. I have an ag degree.
I used to know all that.
Anyway,
Anyway.
thank you for listening to me speak about naked mole rats. I think they're so funny. And I think we have a lot to learn from them. I think actually medically there's a lot that we can
Right.
learn from them. They're really insane, and there's just so many things about them that don't make any sense, and I think it's so funny.
That is really cool.
I like them.
They are cute too.
I like them a lot.
Well, what I have up next is, I guess, Space. Put up this picture, please. Welcome the winner of the world's ugliest animal.
Mean?
It was voted in 2013 by the Ugliest Animal Preservation Society.
I don't think he's ugly.
Ah!
The blobfish.
Okay. Question. This is not what they look like underwater, right?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Hold your horses. This is Mr. Blobby. Okay?
Okay.
So the pictures went viral. This picture exactly went viral in 2003. And the internet did nickname him Mr. Blobby. And he was the he just had so many memes about him. He just took over the internet. Cue the meme. Go home, evolution, you're drunk, is what the meme says. In the picture
I will
of a
describe for
blobfish.
audio listeners.
Please.
I'm sure you've seen this picture. It looks like kid's slime, or like a giant booger that's pink, and he looks like he's frowning, and he looks like he has like a
Giant
Squidward nose and
Squidward nose, that's good.
2 eyes, and he looks really slimy.
These guys are quite weird. Their looks are very weird. And that's mostly why they were voted the world's ugliest animal. So real quick side note, Ugliest Animal Preservation Society is they're trying to bring humor into conservation
Okay.
to make it, because conservation is kind of depressing. So
True.
they got a lot of coverage over this. So it's a good idea. So the blobfish was discovered in 1985. So it's been around for a little bit, known about it. It was found during a research expedition in between New Zealand and Australia, and researchers were trolling the deepest parts of those underwater mountains, and they pulled up a blobfish. And a blobfish there's a few fish like that around the world, but they don't quite look like that. They're part of the family. I'm going to butcher this. Cyclolotida. Cyclolotida. They're a distant relative to sculpins, if that helps anybody kind of understand the family relations here. So they live in deep waters. So
How deep?
research varies.
Okay.
We're looking at 330 feet to 9,200 feet, or
That's
100 meters.
okay. That's a big range.
2,800 meters. And there's something weird about it because I'll get into that in a second, why those range depths are weird, because they don't have a swim bladder. Do you know what a swim bladder is used for in fish?
Floating?
Yeah, buoyancy. So they can put air into the bladder to have them go up and take air out to go down. That's the basic concept of a swim bladder.
Okay.
It's a little bit more complex than that. But they do not have a swim bladder. They are full of just fat and white muscle.
Okay.
And they have very little bones. They are a fatty blob. They're about the size. They're
Can
like
they swim?
kinda.
Not really.
They're about the size of my tablet here, which is like for audio listeners, like a magazine. It's about the size they are. So they are so fatty. This is like a Yo Mama joke. They are so fatty that they are less dense than the water that they're in.
No.
So they are.
So they float?
Yeah, they're neutrally buoyant.
Neutrally buoyant.
So they're as fat as they need to be in the spot that they're in, which is weird how their body's able to do that, because they can only go so deep, because then they'll float up to a certain level, and they can't go up because they're too heavy. So it's like this weird in between. So with them being in deep water and them not really having much muscle, they have white muscle. So the difference between white muscle and red muscle is meant for like more long distance.
Oh, different types of muscles?
Like
What the fuck?
long distance running. White muscle is for more short bursts. So how do you think they hunt?
Sit and wait.
Yep. They just sit there and wait, and they, if they want to, they can kind of like move their little fins to like go into the current, then the current carries them to a new spot. But it's not really efficient for them to swim.
Okay.
So they can do like short bursts, and they will eat small crustaceans, sea snails, really whatever gets close to them. And some of the females, they think, will get together. They'll mate with males, and then they will put their eggs in like one centrally located like rock spot, and they'll guard it.
Yeah.
Because they suck at swimming, and they need to stay together.
Because they suck
to
at
have little
swimming.
baby blobfishes.
Do they have any way to guard it? Do they have any defense mechanisms?
Nope.
So they just sit there and hope that someone's like, ew, I don't want to go over there.
I guess so.
No. Okay.
And I mean, they like can kind of swim
And then
fastish.
so they lay eggs and then they get fertilized via drop shipments.
They're not too sure.
Okay.
They're like the mates. They think
Da,
they're
da,
females.
da, da,
They just
da,
think the males hang around. They've never seen a
da,
mating. Or in my
Interesting.
research, I wasn't able to find that.
Okay.
And the other thing they don't know is what a baby blobfish looks like.
What?
They've never seen it.
They
So,
can't do any of that in a captive setting?
No, because the second that you take them up, they look like what the picture that you saw of them being.
That's what they
Dead.
actually look like?
This is what they actually look like when
I
they're
am
under pressure.
devastated.
They look pretty normal, right? They're cute.
Audio listeners, it looks like a brown teardrop, normal fish on the sand with a couple eyes.
Looks like a exaggerated guppy. Like
Yeah.
the head's a bit bigger.
It's like what you would draw if someone was like, draw a fish.
Yeah, it looks pretty normal.
Yeah.
So all
Draw a
these internet memes that you're
fish.
seeing, it's because that animal's dead. It's not under pressure anymore, and that pressure was holding all that fatty tissue together. There's also decay and stuff like that.
That picture that the pressure's holding it together, so when you bring them up, they like explode.
There's nothing left. Yeah, they have nothing holding.
So the
their
picture
body
that went
together.
viral is a dead fish.
Yes,
Nobody knew that it was dead.
No, it was dead. Yeah. I mean, I guess people making the memes didn't know it was dead, but people don't really care about dead fish. Really,
So
they should.
that's like if somebody took me to space and I got spaghettified.
Yep.
And then a picture of me went viral and everyone was like, "Wow, look at how ugly she is like this."
Mm-hmm.
That's so unfair. That's crazy.
It is, and they're weird when they're like that. And now it's sitting. That 2003 meme blobfish, Mr. Blobby, is sitting in a 70% ethyl alcohol solution in Australia museum, and it looks even sadder, even more droopy. They're like,
not the
he looks like a 30-year-old.
museum.
Well, he's 30 years old. He looks like an 85-year-old grandpa.
I'm
That's what he looks like on the frame.
sad.
That's what they say.
I'm
wanna see the baby.
sad.
There's AI versions of it only.
I don't want to see that.
Nobody's ever been able to see him. So we'll see.
And they change color as well. Are they like they're like brown like that? And when they come up, because they look like pink in that picture that went viral.
Yeah, no, he is pink. I'm
Oh.
not sure or pink up at the
Oh, sure.
surface. I didn't see anything about the change in color during the research, but it's really sad.
That is
Mr.
really
Blobby.
sad.
And you
I
just
like
need a friend.
What do you got for us? What's next?
Next is the II. You know what an II is?
The II.
I like
II.
EYEY.
Captain.
Yeah.
IIs. Do you guys know what these are? This
Is it a bird?
No. You really
Yeah, they did. A blobfish is only a blob because of the pressure difference. So when it comes up to the surface where there's less pressure, then he turned into blob. He's not normally a blob. Yeah. Yeah, here I'll run it back just a little bit so you can see. Look, that's what a blobfish looks like underwater. This is a blobfish underwater. Like just chilling where he normally is. Look at him. He's just a little guy. Look at him. He's just a little fish. He's just a little fish. And yeah, the only reason he looks like a blobfish as we know a blobfish to look is because of the pressure difference. Like, what the fuck? Man.
Mr. Blobby is sitting in a 70%
That's
ethyl alcohol
so
solution in Australia museum,
banana.
and it looks even sadder, even more droopy.
No.
They're like, he looks like a 30-year-old. Well, he's 30 years old. He looks like an 85-year-old grandpa. Is what he
Not
looks
the
like on the
grandpa.
frame. That's what they say.
I want to
So.
see the baby ones.
There's AI versions of it only.
I don't want to see that.
Nobody's ever.
Nobody's ever seen a baby blobfish.
We'll see when
And they
it goes.
change color as well. Are they like they're like brown
No.
like that?
Oh,
And
I'm
when
so
they come
sorry,
up- 'cause
pretty.
they look like pink in that picture that went viral.
Yeah, no, he is pink. I'm
Oh.
not sure or pink up at the
Oh, sure.
surface. I didn't see anything about the change in color during the research, but it's really sad.
That is
Mr.
really
Blobby.
sad. I like him.
Yeah.
What
do you got for us? What's next?
Next is the II. You know what an II is?
I like
II.
EYEY.
Captain. AYE. AYE.
AYE. Okay.
IIs. Do you guys know what these are? This
Is it a bird?
Yes.
No.
I do know
You
what
really
they
don't know
are.
what these are.
I don't know what an eye
It's an endangered primate. It's found in Madagascar.
Oh, with the crazy eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
They're the world's largest nocturnal primate.
Okay.
They can live up to 20 years. They're 14 to 24 inches, 35 to 61 centimeters. They weigh about
Wait,
4
geez.
pounds.
Well, 24 inches.
14 to 24 inches.
So okay.
So, like 2
Half
of
a
your
you.
forearms.
Okay.
Look at your forearms, like 2 of those, ish. And they weigh about 4 pounds, 1.8 kilograms.
Wow.
This is what they look
Wait.
like.
4. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 4 pounds.
That is almost as much as the naked mole rat. Naked mole rat was what, 2 or 3 pounds?
It did say 3.3 pounds.
That is crazy.
I didn't think about that when I was doing the research. I just wrote those down, but you're right. Why
Naked
are they
mole
so
rats
heavy?
are so dense.
It's like a
They're
brick.
so cool. Okay, sorry.
This one I looks.
Ugh.
Don't make that noise.
So are we?
We're
Wait. So
looking at a picture
eyes
of
are
an
built like
eye.
a brick
It
house? Is that what we're
looks
going?
Like an animatronic freak.
the fingers are so freaking long.
That was mean. I take it back. It does look animatronic, and it does look a little Five Nights at Freddy's, and it does.
Oh, the
he's
mole
got
rats.
big
Yeah.
eyes that are full circles. I think is part of the problem here.
The eyes,
Is
yeah.
it's full circles and they're yellow.
Well, so apparently this guy weighs a lot too.
Ish. And they weigh about 4 pounds, 1.8 kilograms.
Wow.
This is what they look
Wait,
like.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They're 4 pounds.
That is.
Hold on,
They're
let's.
eyes.
Let me
You guys know
see.
what these are. This
Is it a bird?
No. You really don't know what
I-
these
I-
are.
I don't
Oh,
know what that
it's an endangered primate. It's found in Madagascar.
Oh, with the crazy eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
With the crazy
They're the
eyes.
world's largest nocturnal primate.
Okay.
They can live up to 20 years. They're 14 to 24 inches, 35 to 61 centimeters.
Four-
They weigh about
Wait,
4
please.
pounds.
Well, let me. 24 inches.
14 to 24 inches.
So okay.
So, like 2
Half
of
of you.
your forearms.
Okay.
Look at your forearms, like 2 of those, ish. And they weigh about 4 pounds, 1.8 kilograms.
Wow.
That's
This is
not
what they
very.
look
Wait.
like.
4. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 4 pounds.
That's not very
That
much, is it?
Almost as much as the naked mole rat. Naked mole rat was what, 2 or 3 pounds?
It did say 3.3 pounds.
That is crazy.
I didn't think about that when I was doing the research. I just wrote those down, but you're right. Why
Naked
are
mole
they so
rats
heavy?
are so dense.
It's like a
They're
brick.
so cool. Okay, sorry.
This one I was
Ugh.
don't make that noise.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right, pretty. So they're like they're anywhere from 1 to 2 feet, like big, and they weigh 4 pounds. That's not dense. But that comparison makes them naked mole rat seem more dense.
Sorry.
We're looking at a picture of an eye. It looks like an animatronic freak.
The fingers
Maya,
are so
don't call
freaking
him a
long.
freak.
That was mean. I take it back. It does look animatronic, and it does. Look a little Five Nights at Freddy's, and it
Whispers
does-
like
He's got big eyes that
I think
are. full
Whispers like
circles, I think is
eight,
part of the
like 8 or
problem
9
here.
pounds.
The eyes.
She's a pretty
yeah,
small
Full
cat.
circles, and they're yellow with full circular pupils.
Yeah.
And he has.
She is
giant
healthy weight
ears
though.
Tiny
The vet
nose and mouth.
that are like fox-sized.
the vet
ears.
says she
Tiny
good.
nose, tiny mouth. This is a lemur.
Yeah, she's a
I-
she's
now
a
that
little
I
she's
was
a little
jumped there
thing.
at first, but it's like ugly cute.
She looks so fluffy, like because she's super fluffy. She looks she looks like bigger, but like she's just a little teeny thing. She's so tiny.
So I say
Okay.
about Beetle. Trivia.
Trivia time.
Okay, these ones should be a little bit simpler so people can actually earn some points.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of
The fucking
size,
producer
of all
is shading
these
them.
Tree-dwelling animals, which one of all of the tree-dwelling animals, which one is the heaviest?
Sloth?
Tree dwell.
Orangutan.
That is correct.
He said
Oh.
orangutan.
Orangutan.
It's orangutan. Yeah,
actually
you
didn't
get-
know that.
No, you went.
I absolutely love Maya. Anytime anytime Connor says orangutan, she's like,
Weigh
it's a
around 165 pounds.
say it wrong.
Have you ever seen that TikTok? that
An
went viral?
orangutan.
Orangutans
It's like
are so
160
smart, like,
pounds.
they
Just
do their
chilling in a
ones to
tree.
dissect you. Have you ever
Damn.
seen that?
No.
Okay. It's for another day, I
Okay,
guess,
pop
but, like, They're
off.
talking about like these type of apes will rip your face off. This ape will just tear you in half. But orangutans, they're so smart.
Stop saying tang.
Orangutans are so smart.
Stop
that
saying
they'll
tang.
Be so curious that they'll dissect you instead. And it's so easy for them to do. It's scary. Anyway,
I'll take it. I think that's fine.
it's from Zoo. I can't remember what zoo said that, but it's funny. Sorry.
I think that's fine. I wouldn't mind that if I was dead anyway. It's
You'd
good.
be alive,
It'd be
probably.
good enrichment for them. If
That's
I was
true.
alive, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really excited that you don't know anything about eyes, pretty much,
Nope.
because the way that they feed is called tap foraging.
I saw the video.
Okay,
It
so
was
you do know.
I saw the video because it got space leaked. It.
No,
But it's so
Okay.
cute. It just.
they do tap foraging. Yeah, I'm sure that sounds great.
Wait, you dank. Sorry.
so they have this one really long fingy.
Ew, no.
and they
Wait, is that
climb.
the technical term?
No,
I
it's
remember
fingy.
this. I remember this episode. They have one
And they
finger
climb
that's so
trees, and
long.
they do tap foraging, so they'll tap the tree really fast. We're gonna play a video.
It's so
Audio listeners,
wild.
It is so funny. He's got this long finger. He's on a tree, and he puts his ear on the tree, and he just taps the tree really
that
fast.
is so skinny.
It's got a skinny, long finger.
I don't know how I feel about that, but it's cool.
So he hunts via it's acoustic hunting.
That's so weird.
So what he's looking for in that tree
Ugh.
is
The fingy.
wood-boring insects or larvae. And then once he finds them, he rips the bark off with his teeth, and then he fishes it out. Look, he's chewing it off with his teeth. They have really strong teeth.
That's crazy.
He looks, audio listeners, he looks totally rabid right now. And then he sticks his finger in there and grabs it like a skewer, like you're doing fondue. He sticks his long fingy in there and he pierces it and he pulls it out.
Like he's doing fondue.
That finger has stayed that size.
That is
Through
creepy.
evolution.
So funny. No, the bug's dying. Okay, it's kind of sad. But yeah, so essentially, long finger taps the tree like the way that you look for a stud finder when you're stupid, like me, or when you look for a stud in the wall when you're dumb, and then
That's
Not when
creepy.
you're dumb.
Sorry,
okay,
continue.
and then
Damn, Maya,
step
be
before-
nicer to
and then
yourself.
You find the bug in there, and then you stick your finger in there and skewer it and pull it out.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's called tap foraging. It's acoustic hunting, which is fascinating. We're gonna pull up a picture of their fingy here. Their
That's so
finger is it's a ball and socket joint. It can rotate 360 degrees,
What?
which is crazy.
That makes it worse.
And the crazy thing
That's so
about the finger
creepy.
is it does not look like the other fingers. They would do the craziest.
At least she's
with
looking
their
for a
finger
stud.
ever.
I
They
mean,
have
you
like
right.
3 normal. Okay, they're not
Looks like
normal.
it could break so easily. It's
It
like
does.
a toothpick.
They have 3. They're not normal, but they're like more normal than the middle one, primate
Yeah.
fingers. So just like thin fingers with claws
It
on
looks
them.
like insect hand.
And then the middle finger looks like a long twig. It's like not quite twice as long as the other fingers, but it's longer,
Yeah.
and it's not even half as thin, or it's thinner than half of the other fingers. It's very strange.
That is wild.
Yeah, they also eat some seeds and nuts, but they're most famous for tap foraging because it's very interesting. And when they're startled, they have white guard hairs that stand
Oh
up
my
straight, so they look like they've
goodness!
been
A
electrocuted
shiny
a little bit.
Mordred has
The problem with that is that they
appeared.
look insane.
Hello.
They look
Like a opossum.
How are
kinda.
you?
Yeah,
Like
so they're
defensive
just like this
opossum.
like really dark
you
animal with
doing,
big ears, bright orange eyes, and then they
Mordred?
have these white guard hairs that stick out, and
Like-
they
it's
look
like a-
kind of cursed.
Crazy old man yelling at you to get off your lawn.
If he
or
was
his lawn.
possessed by a demon, yeah, that's what he looks like.
Oh, that looks like Mr. Bill to me. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
So they were thought to be extinct in 1933, but they were rediscovered in 1937.
Oh.
The way that they look, or I'm sorry, 1957. The way that they look has actually been an issue for them. They've been historically hunted because locals think that they're a bad omen. Like they think they bring
Oh.
bad luck and death.
Yeah.
So historically, they've been killed on the spot.
Sad.
Oh,
and then
damn.
people, like hang them up in their villages to ward away
To ward away evil
bad
spirits? Oh, that's
things.
wild. Those
Yeah.
poor things.
and like bad luck. Yeah, it's super sad. The name
I'm doing good,
is thought to
Mordred.
come from
I'm doing
the
good, Mordred.
Malagasy phrase "I," which means I don't know, because people
Fair.
were afraid to say its name.
Oh.
So that's where it came
Voldemort.
from. But yeah, they've been seriously, they're endangered. Obviously,
Sad.
they're also only in Madagascar, so of course they're endangered. Both habitat loss and hunting.
And hunting,
because
yeah.
because they look so cursed.
And I feel like having those in human care for like a SSP program would just be really hard.
It is hard. There's not very many at zoos
Yeah.
in the U.S. There are zoos that have them, but it's
You gotta get a lot of dead wood. Hope there's food in there, or put food inside the dead wood for them.
yeah.
Or I
The
guess
Duke,
you could teach 'em to eat otherwise,
Oh.
but they need that enrichment.
the Duke Lemur Center has the majority of the IIs in captivity in the world. If you guys ever get the chance to go
Duke,
check
like,
them out online, DUKE.
like the school.
I assume there's association with the university, but I'm not.
Hmm.
Yeah, Duke University.
That's cool.
Yeah. If
Okay.
you guys ever get the chance to check them out online, you should. They do really great work.
Nice.
That's all.
All right, so I've got 2 segments here. It's a little bit different. The first segment is 3 videos about the weirdest bird dances. The second segment is 2 truths and a lie. I'm going
Yay.
to quiz you on.
Excellent.
Um,
Love it.
so for these dances, for audio listeners, I will describe it
Staying
because
alive.
I think the descriptions are pretty accurate.
Staying alive.
But if you get a chance to watch YouTube, it's pretty funny. This is a good episode for YouTube. So up first,
Oh, classic. Cock of the
red-
rock. Is that not
What?
a cock of the rock?
What are you?
Continue.
I don't think you can say that word.
That's what it's called.
It's a red-capped mannequin.
Oh. They have similar heads.
Oh.
This is a cock of the rock.
It's kind of similar. Okay. Anyway,
Cock on a
Don't
rock.
beat you're a biologist.
I know. I
Please.
gotta not be on brand. Okay, so let's play the video. Little music. So he is doing.
He's
a
boogieing!
moonwalk right now, is how it's described. And
He's like,
he
why are you
is
saying
going
cock?
back
You're
and forth
distracting me.
Super fast. The camera can hardly keep up. With him
Yo,
kind of
look at him go!
vibrating
Oh, shit!
Left and right as fast as he can.
Oh my god, he's
So it is a
dancing.
And they do a classic.
Oh, he
lecking
is
mating system. Remember the one
scooting
from
and
the first or
booting.
second episode with the bats?
I do.
So all the males and females come to an area and they start mating. But here's the crazy thing: it's just one big dance floor of them moonwalking back and forth like crazy, trying to impress females.
I am
like that
tired
vibe.
but
It's like a fun-
surviving.
It is like a vibe.
Surviving the BS weather.
And,
Mordred, I am
yeah,
glad you are
obviously,
surviving.
Like the
Very
one
glad.
male mates with like 80+% of the females in a given area if his moves are good enough. So up next is a hummingbird, specifically the Costa hummingbird.
I've never seen this video.
This is wild.
It just looks like a little. Oh no, it doesn't. I was
It
gonna say
is-
it looks like a normal hummingbird, but its body looks like a normal hummingbird, and its head looks like an octopus, like a purple, iridescent octopus.
Went from warm and rainy to cold and
It's a
snowy.
It is super
Boo!
intense. So from the side, it doesn't look like anything other than feathers. But the second you get to the female's perspective, because he's dancing in front of a female back and forth, they call the purple squid dance is
Oh,
what it's
okay.
been identified as, scientists say. So it is this really crazy violet purple shimmering face of three long streaks of feathers out each side that looks like a squid, and it flows back and forth, and it's crazy beautiful and crazy cool.
If I was a female hummingbird and this was my first time being courted, I would think I was so high.
Yep. She said no in this video. She left.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't a good enough dance, good enough squid dance.
She said no and left.
And the last one is the Jesus goose. That's what I'm calling it anyway. It's a Western Clark's grebes.
You made up the name?
Western and Clark's grebes.
Okay,
That's the real name.
we're looking at the video. I'm going to describe it to the audio listeners. They are geese. They are running on the water.
Grebes.
Sorry, they are grebes. They are running on the water. They have their wings sticking out like Naruto. But they are
Like a
running right on the
Naruto!
surface of the water like Jesus himself.
This is the last part of like to make sure that they're compatible with the mates, so
I
they have
also
to
do
keep
that.
up with them. for Naruto
Just
So-
Jesus
I'll walk
and
on
across
water.
the
To make
water.
sure I'm compatible with my mates.
Yep, it is crazy how they just little pitter patter get their feet going. That they can walk on water. It's really cool.
That's
They're not
really
even
cool.
really flapping their wings either. So,
That's bizarre.
so those are some of the weirdest, more uncommon bird mating dances. There's a lot of them out there. Paradise birds, paradise birds are like some of the most famous ones that are honorable mention that you see on most National Geographics. All right, Maya, this was
Two truths and a lie.
this was pretty hard for me to come up with the lies, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not really good at lying. So we've got two sections here, two questions. So the first one, first off, two truths and a lie. There's obviously two truths, and Maya's got to figure out which one is the lie, but it's gonna be really difficult. And I'm not gonna do like a numbers game, like, oh, it actually didn't do 2 miles, it did 3. It's gonna
Sure.
be obvious. It's
Okay.
not gonna be that kind of dumb. So first up, beaver's anal glands juice tastes like raspberries and sometimes vanilla. A
That's true.
radiated rat snake secretes a sweet oil.
That is true. The thing about beavers is true. Beaver butt goo is used for vanilla things.
To attract mice and rats. And the last one is parrotfish help make beaches by pooping sand.
Okay.
Which one is a lie? Which one do you think is the truth?
The parrotfish one I think is true.
Okay.
I think that parrotfish help make sand. And I think that I know beaver anal glands produce castor. castor oil, which. So I think that the second one's a lie.
You're correct.
Wicked.
The rat stink does not secrete a sweet oil to attract rats and mice. So the beaver's anal glands, yeah, it's a castorum with castor oil. So depending on what they eat, it'll be vanilla or raspberry flavor, like a combination of both.
Not
Don't
the
say flavor. Scent.
don't
No, it's a flavor.
not
No
flavor.
way.
100.
It tastes
So-
like vanilla.
In 1965, before they used it to flavor sodas.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, vanilla.
And this was before like the invention of like fake raspberry and vanilla flavors.
Okay, I'm staying corrected.
So it's still used
Damn.
today. It's classified as a natural or additive, natural flavor additive. Yeah, and it's not really as commonly used anymore because there's ethical concerns for harvesting it, and it's just really expensive. And there's cheaper alternatives. There's 300 pounds of it brought into the U.S. every year, so not that
Yeah,
much.
it's not that crazy.
So thankfully, it's not a big thing. And then parrotfish, they go around and eat coral and sometimes rocks, and they're very indiscriminate on how they do it. We have a picture of a parrotfish, huge
I like
buck-
parrotfish.
buck teeth.
They're beautiful.
I guess they're not buck teeth. They're just like crazy looking.
They're
different ones have
beautiful.
Crazy cool looking, like parrot-like colors. Where they get their name from. And yeah, they'll eat rocks. It's crazy. And then
Audio listeners, imagine in your head if someone said, imagine a big Hawaiian fish.
Yep.
Just think of that and then
Oops.
imagine it with dentures.
yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Imagine the fish with
They'll
dentures.
poop out
Oh,
about
bless.
100 pounds a year each
That's enough.
in sand.
That's
and they
incredible.
Help build.
And that's why
beaches.
isn't that why like the sand out there is so white and like fine and beautiful?
I'm sure that helps. Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, it might not be the sole reason for it, but all right. Here's my last segment here. Still truth, still lie. So the longest slide on record for a penguin is 1.29 miles or 2.07 kilometers.
Jeez.
Sloths only poop once a week. And
True.
bees can recognize human faces.
Okay. Sloths,
Bees-
I believe, only poop once a week because
Bees can recognize human faces. Not just harvesting it, there's ethical concerns toward consuming it. You're not wrong.
sloths will not poop from trees. And they have to come down to the forest floor to poop. They
Yep.
don't have to. I don't know why they do that because it's a very vulnerable place to be. So once a week makes sense for coming down to the forest floor. Bees can recognize other bee faces.
No, human faces.
Well, yeah, I'm getting there. Bees can recognize other bee faces. I read a study where they like used pen or Sharpie or something and they drew on the bees' faces and then sent them back to the hive and the hive killed them because they thought it was like an intruder because they
Sad for those
recognize each other's faces.
bees.
Based on that information, I would assume they can recognize human faces. So I think the first one is a lie.
Got it. Jeez.
I'm a genius.
How about genius?
Yeah, I don't know what the longest slide of a penguin is.
That's such a funny lie. It's so random. They can go, what was it?
2.9 miles.
1.29 miles
Yeah.
they can slide. It's just got so much momentum.
That's
60 miles an hour. Shoot. Nice. That's
Gotta
funny.
conserve energy. Yeah, so sloths, yeah, you explained it right. They come down. Sometimes they'll even dig a little hole and put their poop in there. So 50% of sloth deaths occur while they're pooping.
Yeah, okay. did you
Oh
ever
my
find
god,
out why
that's
they do
so
that? Why they come
sad.
down from the tree? Why not just poop from the tree?
They don't know.
That's so dumb, man. That
Yeah.
frustrated me so much when I learned that.
It is really dumb. Yeah, they could just let it go. It's just like, why does a cat like to go in a cat litter box? You know? I guess
I mean, I guess.
just where they feel the best.
50% of sloth deaths
Hmm
pooping.
And then with bees, they are really smart.
Yeah, they're super
They
smart.
recognize patterns and odors as well as people's faces.
Mm-hmm.
So don't mess with the beehive because they'll remember you and then they'll attack you before you even get close.
But if you put a mask on, they won't know who you are.
I was checking out this guy's beehive. Like we're on like a tour, like a private tour of this
Mm-hmm.
place, and there was like 5 of us, and I was the furthest one back, and the bee swarmed me and nobody else. And I'd
Maybe you
never been there.
reminded them of somebody.
Yeah, it was crazy. It
Somebody
sucked. It
bad.
hurt.
That sucks.
So and then I had to go install an eagle cam for 24 hours. So
Oh,
Good time. Quiz time.
Quiz
2
time.
trivia questions per episode. I'm ready.
Okay, this one should be pretty simple. Why do sea otters hold their hands when they sleep?
So they don't drift away from each other.
That is true.
Oh, hold each other's. Each other.
They hold each
individuals.
other's hands when they're sleeping so that
Yeah.
they don't lose each other while they're sleeping.
Okay.
1-to-1, baby. Let's go.
Nice. Good job.
GG's. Guys, that is going to be it for our world's weirdest episode today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I couldn't stop laughing. I just think that these animals are so funny.
It was a good time.
I love when they don't make any sense biologically.
That's cool.
Thank you guys so much for subbing wherever you're watching. If you're an audio listener, thank you so much. Make sure to leave us a review if you wouldn't mind. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe, leave a comment. If you're on Patreon, thank you for being on Patreon so much. Hello,
Thank you.
Patreon. We got a bunch of content over there. We got
Oh my
mugs, by the way.
gosh,
I don't know if you guys knew this.
Adam!
We have World's Wildest mugs that you guys can buy if you're interested in a little mug that has our
Hello.
logo on it. They're nice, like camping mugs, kind of fun and fresh. That's it. That's all I have.
Adam,
change
how
up
are you?
Bits or segments was fun.
Yeah, it was
If you
fun.
like that, comment and we'll do that more.
Yeah, let us know what you guys are enjoying, what you're not enjoying, so we can adjust. Let us know if you have any
Hi.
ideas for topics.
Hello. Thank you so much. Azriel Sand, TTV. Oh my goodness, so fancy. Adam, how the heck are you doing? How are you doing? Hello. Thank you so much for the gift sub. I appreciate it. Have you gotten any more wins in fall, guys? Have you gotten any more wins? Ooh, world's coldest.
I can't stop thinking.
Just the one. That's awesome, though. You've gotten like multiple wins recently with the big old crown. I think I did. Yes, I did. I did. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Adam, you're too sweet. Too sweet. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you for the little beaties. Oh, wait. My alerts are very, oops. Oh. What is this? There we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Want. Thank you for the bits, Adam. I appreciate you. Windows go. Ow. Oh my goodness. There's actually a key on my keyboard. There's a key that I have a key so I can throw stuff at myself without like using a redeem, but it's random. Oh, not the bunk. Thank you. Thank you, Hey Pretty. Adam, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gift sub to Hey Pretty One. Oh, you were so sweet. Thank you, Adam. I hope you enjoy your emotes. Oh my gosh. Ah. Now, why did it break though? Why did it break? Oh my God, that was so funny. Why did it do that? Hold on, let me see if I can. I wonder if it. Oh my gosh, please. That's so funny. It was so angy. You broke the yeah, for like 5 seconds. I just disappeared. Please. That was so silly. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, Mark. Oh my God. Adam. Oh my goodness, Adam, thank you. Thank you for gifting a sub to Mordred. Mordred, you has Pokemon emotes if you want them. Oh, Adam, thank you so much. What the heck? I appreciate you. Thank you. Dang, dang, you've gifted so many subs. What the heck? Yeah. Emotes. Emotes are the best. I love it. I love that I love that everyone's allowed to have emotes. Like, ah, it's so fun. It's so fun. Number one fan. You're so sweet. Yeah. Oh my god, Mordred. Mordred, are you in a bonking mood today? Are you just gonna bonk everybody? Bonk, bonk. Bonk, bonk. Bonk, bonk. Oh, yes. Look at this. Let me do this away. We've got our little stony kitty. Oh, the cat? The cat friend? I do mostly they are mostly like whisper adjacent, like because she's a long-haired black cat. And she has this little like little mole. She has this little mole on her ear. Most of the black cats are kind of based off of her. And she does enjoy a catnip here and there. Um, I need to add whiskers. Okay, and then I need to put them here. Over here getting stoned. Yep. Just a little bit of catnip. A little bit of catnip ain't nobody hurt nobody. Hello. Hello. When I went down and wound it. What? My model's neck? What happened? Oh no. Did something happen to my neck? It bent so far. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, that happens. Yay! You can buy groceries tomorrow. Fuck yeah. It's mostly me. when I'm like trying to stretch my like shoulders, stretch my neck and stuff. My model definitely freaks out. Oh man. All right. I want to make sure that we can start and finish this episode. Otherwise, we'll just listen to music. Na 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 na. Bep, bep, bep. Bep, 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 bep. Mordred, oh my gosh, congrats on third, Mordred. And thank you for redeeming your daily Cosmo. Yeah, daily Cosmo. I don't know if you're there, Adam. Ba, 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 na, na, na. Oh. Okay. Oops. Oh, that is very thin. Okay. Okay, that's much better.
About them getting launched into space and being crushed in a lab and boiled in
Yeah.
alcohol.
I mean, imagine all the other things that they did to rule them out.
It's really killing my vibe.
It's really killing my vibe. That's fair.
Welcome to World's Wildest.
Hello.
Today's episode is the world's coldest.
It's very cold.
It's about 75 degrees.
Connor.
It's hot.
My immersion.
I got it cranked down to 50. That's the lowest that the AC will go.
That's crazy.
It's 74. It's coming down.
We're going to talk about some of the world's coldest animals today.
So cold.
Or the animals that are the best adapted to cold, extreme cold.
Mine's all about survival, not thriving, but survival in cold. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
I personally grew up in
Nice.
California. I get cold at like 65 degrees.
I worked in Alaska for
I'm sweatshirt at 65.
bit. And it got pretty cold. I wasn't really there over the winter much, but it does get very, very cold.
I don't think I would survive in the snow. I don't like the cold. So this would be a great episode. Shall we begin?
Please.
Shall we
By the way,
begin?
Remember, we have a Patreon. And last Patreon bonus episode, I poured a whole bottle of water on Connor's head right here.
It's a great time.
So you can go find more content on our Patreon. Okay. Okay, this one's actually, I'm really stoked about this because it is freaking weird. My first one has the Guinness World Record for most cold tolerant insect,
Okay.
terrestrial insect. It's called the red flat bark beetle.
Okay.
They are between 0.39 and 0.55 inches long. That's 10 to 14 millimeters tiny.
Hold on. 0.35?
0.39 and 0.55 inches.
Something like that.
Half an inch.
Oh, I thought you said 3 point. Oh, no.
0.39 and 0.55 inches.
Oh, okay. Very tiny. Okay.
Audio listeners, he held up like 3 inches.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah, they're like half an inch. They're tiny little beetles. Their diet consists of other beetles, small arthropods, fungus, plants. They're found in North America, from North Carolina to the Brooks Range in Alaska.
Okay.
Connor has worked in Alaska. Tell us how it feels out there in the winter.
I wasn't there for much, but it gets dark very, very fast. It's very, very cold. You can't see anything, and there's snow everywhere. And Kayla actually worked through winter building fences, and she had to like stop working from Kayla's my wife. Stop working because she had frostbite on her toes that was never like fully recovered, and the permafrost got so dense that they had to basically stop working. They couldn't put posts in the ground anymore.
Is it cold enough for your eyeballs to freeze?
No, but the lashes do.
I know a biologist. This is a plug. His name's Wes Larson. He's a bear biologist. He has a podcast called Tooth and Claw Podcast. Excellent. Go check that out as well. Wes was on my old podcast, and he told a story about when he went to Antarctica. I don't know how cold it was there. Very,
Very cold.
very cold. And he had glasses on, and he got a crack in one of his glasses. And so cold wind blew into his glasses, and it froze his right eyeball. And he could feel it freeze, and it got really hard, and he couldn't move it. And so he had to like get rushed inside, and it defrosted, and his vision's totally fine. But it can be cold enough where your eyeballs just freeze in your head.
That is crazy. Can I have some numbers about the coldest place in the world, which is Antarctica.
Yeah.
High ridge in Antarctica got to negative 135.8 degrees Fahrenheit
That's fine.
or negative 93 Celsius.
That's fine.
So, how long can a body last? A naked
Your
body?
naked body will die, as in you will die in 20 minutes if it's 32 degrees.
Fahrenheit, which is 0 degrees
Fahrenheit.
Celsius. So, yeah. you
Which
have
is pathetic, low-key.
Yeah, it is. Pretty weak.
It's really sad. Okay, so this...
Hold on. Sorry, I got two more points about contextualizing cold. I'm so
ready.
sorry. So the coldest place on Earth is in
Antarctica.
our atmosphere.
Oh.
Like the coldest place on the surface of Earth is Antarctica, but coldest place on Earth is in the mesosphere, which is actually in the middle atmosphere.
Yeah.
Gets to negative 200 and basically 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 173 degrees Celsius.
Negative.
And yeah, negatives. Thank you. How cold do you think it is on Mount Everest?
Negative 10
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Fahrenheit.
Negative 42 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 51 degrees Celsius. So
Light work.
the temperatures that we're talking about are, at least for mine, are quite cold.
My temperatures are ridiculous. I really think I'm going to win this one off the
No.
bat.
Oh.
I really do.
Nope. Mine gets down to 1 Kelvin, and I'll go into that later.
Okay. I have the Guinness World Record holder for the most cold tolerant insect. All right, this is
Okay.
the red flat bark beetles. They're beautiful. Check him out.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He's beautiful. He's just a little red beetle, and he's got little red and black legs. He looks like plastic in a good way, not in a yuck plastic way. It looks fake. It looks like something you'd buy at a party store.
What are those Red Hots? Looks like a Red Hot.
Oh, I don't like those.
Oh,
I don't like
either.
cinnamon.
Yeah, huge cinnamon.
He looks like a red hot.
Yeah.
So scientists at the University of Alaska's Institute of Arctic Biology,
Cool.
they do great work. Sounds miserable. Just gonna say.
That sounds great.
I
Great
don't
times.
like the cold. They find them in larval stages where they look like rice grain-sized little worms. We'll pull up a picture of the larva as well. It kind of looks like a maggot
Mealworm.
centipede. Cute.
Mealworm.
Or it looks like mealworm a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the size of a grain of rice.
Cool.
This is a larva. They're very cute. For some context or for some reference points, yellow jackets, this is all like out where these beetles live as well. Yellow jackets, stink bugs, other insects that survive above ground in winter will perish at about negative 13 degrees Fahrenheit,
Okay.
which is negative 25 degrees Celsius. They cooled these beetles in a lab to negative 94 degrees Fahrenheit
Whoa.
or negative 70 degrees Celsius, and they were fine.
The
Thoughts?
beetles or the larvae?
The beetles.
And then they thawed them and they were fine, or were they active at negative 94 degrees Fahrenheit? 93?
So here's the cool part about these beetles. They don't have to thaw them. They don't freeze.
Oh, okay. So they're just fine. They keep
They
doing
don't
their thing.
freeze. Yeah, okay. You're not impressed by negative 94 degrees
No,
Fahrenheit.
I'm still
I
trying
can
to
tell. It's
contextualize
fine.
it.
I have more to tell you.
I'm trying to, like, if it's not,
I could tell by the look on your face that you're not impressed by negative 94 degrees Fahrenheit.
it's not if they're just chilling, if they're like in a, a torpor.
This is coming from a guy that would die if he was naked in 20 minutes in 32 degrees.
I would make it 30 minutes.
So they were very impressed by this, that they
Okay.
survived in such
They
low
thrived. It
temperatures.
sounds like they thrived because that's different. Survival, for what I'm talking about later, it's an important distinction. Survival is them just being kind of alive, not doing anything, if they're going around active and thriving, that is amazing. That is huge.
I'm about to blow your socks off.
Okay.
And you're going to eat your stupid words. They sent the beetles to a lab in California to do even colder testing. And for reference, again, you said it earlier, but the lowest temperature recorded on Earth ever was in Antarctica, and it was negative 129 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 89 degrees Celsius. I don't know if that's the exact temperature you had. Something around there.
It's close.
And that was in 1983. They tried to freeze these beetles, and they did not freeze at negative 238 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 150 degrees Celsius.
Are they still active?
Those are unearthly temperatures. No.
Okay, but they're not frozen. Okay, that's crazy.
How?
What antifreeze molecules do they have?
So in August, every year, they start producing antifreeze-like proteins. Antifreeze lowers the freezing point of water, which is why we put it in our cars. And it binds to sites where ice might form. Then later in the fall, they produce glycerol, which drives their freezing point down, and then they begin to lose the water in their bodies.
Oh, that's crazy.
So they
That's rare.
don't freeze via severe dehydration.
Yeah.
Negative 238 degrees Fahrenheit. They don't freeze. Why?
That is very cold. Why
Because there's no water.
And they've got those antifreeze molecules in specific areas, which is really cool because it's crazy that it would know to go to those locations and it would evolve that way. That's amazing.
You know what they do instead of freezing?
They sit there and huddle around a campfire.
Their body water is vitrified
I don't even know what that means.
at around negative 104 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 76 degrees Celsius. They're vitrified. That was the first time I almost swore on this podcast because this is so crazy.
I don't even know what vitrified means.
Vitrification is the transformation of a substance into glass.
Oh. Huh?
Full or partial transformation of a substance into glass. It's freezing with no ice formation. So we use vitrification in ceramics and glass making, and probably more notoriously in IVF treatment.
Oh.
In vitro fertilization. Freezing eggs, freezing embryos. You ever heard of that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Is it like, I thought they do liquid nitrogen, right?
yes,
Is that
okay.
vitrification?
So if you want to freeze your eggs, have you guys ever heard someone saying that they're going to freeze eggs for later as a snack? So what they do is there's a blastocyst, which is an early stage embryo. So IVF doctors will collapse the blastocyst with a laser to get rid of all the water, because what damages cells is water freezing, because
Expands,
it
yeah.
crystallizes
Yeah.
and that cuts up cells and it breaks them apart.
Mm,
So for
okay.
IVF, they blast all the water out of it, or they collapse the cell so that there's no
Right.
water in it, and then they plunge the blastocyst into liquid nitrogen.
Nice.
So vitrified fluids show no detectable tendency to form ice because the freezing is so rapid that the water molecules don't have time to form crystals.
Oh.
Which, like, how long has it taken us to figure out IVF? You know, it's just like,
right.
it's a whole thing, and it is very expensive. I don't know how much
And
it costs, but it is
complex.
like very
Yeah.
complex, very expensive, a whole thing, having a child that way. But these beetles just do it.
That is absolutely crazy. I wonder if we learned it from the beetles.
I
Maybe?
don't think so. I
Or
don't
maybe
know.
another species. Who knows?
The transformation of a substance into glass, literally not freezing at negative 238 degrees Fahrenheit. So you asked if they're surviving.
Yeah.
They don't know. Because in a lab setting, they haven't had them survive, but they also think that they're accidentally killing them in other ways.
Oh.
Like, I read this study and they were like, they had the larva in a box outside, like in freezing temperatures.
Right.
And then the box got frozen to the ground, and they described they had to forcibly remove it. So they don't know if they like damaged the larva and killed them that way. So they don't know, but they think that they can survive
That is
through
cool.
negative 238 degrees Fahrenheit. Which is,
where they're
again,
living,
negative
it's-
150 degrees Celsius.
Where they're living, it's not getting that cold.
It's so unnecessary.
right.
Nothing
That's
needs
so
to
cool.
vitrify like in
That
the
is-
wild.
That is so cool that like the molecules just freeze in place and become glass.
So
I
insane.
never heard of that before.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
really
so
cool.
smart because
Yeah.
the freezing that damages cells is ice,
Yeah.
is crystallization. So they're just like, oh, let me just make it so that there's none of that. I'll just turn into glass
That's
for
very
a
smart.
sec and then come back.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
You had me at the end there. I still win though.
quick shout out. Before scientists knew about the red flat bark beetles, the ones I just talked about, people thought the most cold tolerant insect, and the previous Guinness World Record holder for most cold tolerant insect was the woolly bear caterpillar, which can spend up to 10 months per year frozen solid at temperatures of negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And while this caterpillar is very cute, editor, I would like for you to slap a big old loser sign and a sad face on it because he lost his title hard. Negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and this beetle is negative 238 degrees Fahrenheit.
I bet they could live longer though.
Loser.
Oh, they could live longer than the beetle,
Probably.
but that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Very nice.
Thank you.
I've got a very interesting animal, and I have an apology to make to you and to the audience.
You're about to talk smack about a bug, aren't you?
No.
Oh.
I should have chosen this as the world's wildest, #1 best animal, craziest animal ever.
He's hyping it up.
I should have, and I let you guys down, and I apologize because this animal is not only the world's coldest, I think it's the world's hottest, can deal with the most radioactive. It's crazy. I'll get into all that, but it is a tardigrade, and
Is that an animal?
it
Like
is an animal.
Okay.
It is. It is a. I'll get to that in a second. So they're called a water bear, or AKA moss piglets. Legit names. We'll get to that later because it's like where they're found. It was discovered in 1773.
Okay.
To give context, that's 3 years before we declared independence on the tyrant King George III.
Slay.
So they are an 8-legged, segmented micro animal. They're very cute.
Audio listeners, I will describe. It looks like a little gray gummy bear with a few too many legs.
And they have hooks on them, or claws,
Okay.
on each of their legs, which is really cool. So they're 0.5 millimeter to 1.5 millimeters. I'm not going to put that into freedom units because at that small level, we normally go millimeter. So to give some context to that. So if anybody's familiar with needles,
Yes.
it's about the size of a tip of a 24 gauge
No.
needle, which is pretty small. But something more common than a needle is the tip of a mechanical pencil, the graphite that comes out. That's about roughly the size of
So you
of
can
the
see them
water
with the naked eye.
target. If they're the right species, meaning the larger species, they're translucent, so you have to see them in the right light to be able to see them. What's easier is to see them under a microscope, which is what it looks like right there, under a microscope. Very cute.
It looks like a gummy bear with 3 legs, but it's see-through.
And you can see its organs, which is cool. Later, at the end of this segment, I'll tell you how you can see a water bear of your own if you have a microscope or like a student or something like that. Very easy to find. It's really cool. So they reproduce asexually and sexually, just depending on
That's
where
so
they're at.
handy. I love that.
Yep, it's a great time. They eat plant cells, animal cells, and bacteria.
Okay.
And some species are carnivorous, or they only go after other tardigrades. They'll only go after each other.
Okay.
So kind of, what's that word?
Mean.
Like humans eat other humans. I blanked on it.
Cannibals?
Cannibals. Kind of like cannibals. Thank you. So what they're preyed upon by, that was a weird sentence, they are preyed on by amoebas, nematodes, and other tardigrades. And they're in the same superphylum as arthropods. That's also like their
Okay.
closest relatives.
Okay.
There are over 1,300 described species of tardigrades. They live on every continent. They live in ice, under ice, in the highest places. They live in the hottest places next to volcanoes, coldest places, wettest places, driest places, deepest places, I already said highest, and most radioactive environments. They can live everywhere but in lava that we know of. Would be cool if they lived in lava. I don't think anything does. Would be awesome though. So tardigrades have been known to survive the following extreme conditions. There's gonna be a lot of numbers here, so audio listeners, best of luck. I will try to relate it into the Kelvin scale. Are you familiar with the Kelvin scale?
I don't think the general public is familiar with the Kelvin scale.
I'm going to keep it super simple. 0 Kelvin is the absence of all heat. It is the small or the coldest that we can theorize. And this never been achieved in a scientific setting because heat always
Oh.
finds a way in.
Okay.
So I'll use that a little bit later. So the temperatures that tardigrades can survive, not thrive, but survive. They can do a few minutes at 304 degrees Fahrenheit or 151 degrees Celsius. They can do 30 years at -4 degrees Fahrenheit or -20 degrees Celsius. They can live a few days at -328 degrees Fahrenheit,
Dang it.
-200 degrees Celsius, or 73 Kelvin, which is really cold. But here's where it gets crazy. And there's no other species that can do this. It can survive a few minutes at -458 degrees Fahrenheit,
Dang it.
which is -272 degrees Celsius. But the craziest thing is 1 Kelvin. And if we could achieve 0 Kelvin in a laboratory setting, it would probably survive that too for a few minutes.
Okay. So
So,
you're telling me they killed these things?
no. Well, sure, they killed some of them. They ended up killing like half of them and the other half lived.
Yeah.
So it's not every single tardigrade is going to survive out of 100 of them that they have in there.
Do you think that if they were like Chihuahua size, they would feel like a naked cat?
Maybe like a naked mole rat.
They just feel the same.
Naked mole rats are dense.
I mean, this way that their skin feels. Keep going.
Probably.
They look wrinkly.
They do. There's some fan art later in this segment because they did some cool things, and I'll get to it in a second. So, okay, they can go through freezing and thawing process a bunch of times. It doesn't affect them really.
Excellent. Love that.
They can survive 1,000 times the lethal human dose of radiation. No problem.
Okay.
Change in salinity. They can be thrown in salty water, fresh water, doesn't matter. Lack of oxygen, lack of water. They can deal with noxious chemicals. They can be boiled in alcohol. They can deal with low pressures of a
Man,
vacuum.
they have put them through the freaking ringer, huh?
Mm-hmm. High pressures, up to 6 times the pressure of the deepest part of the ocean.
Man, they really put these guys through the ringer.
Dang.
The amount of research that they go into is crazy, and I'll get to that in a minute. Why it's so important. So here's the craziest thing. Producer, please bring up the tardigrades in space. They survived 10 days in the vacuum of space. I read how they did that experiment. They had to create a specialty goo for them to sit in.
All right, I'm back.
Put them out in space off the ISS for 10 days, and half of them survived.
Justice for tardigrades.
They're put through the ringer.
Justice for tardigrades.
Tardigrade in space, and it looks like Willy Wonka, where the girl eats the blueberry and she blows up. It looks like that combined with an English bulldog, which had 6 legs.
I that reference of Willy Wonka.
Thank you, pretty. Thank you.
So they shot them to the moon.
Tardigrades are
Take it anymore.
so fucking cool. I love tardigrades so much. They're amazing.
Spacecraft didn't have a good time, and so it blew up and they died most likely. But there's a chance that they survived and they're hanging out on the moon. So they're absolutely crazy. So they're not walking around on the moon. What they do to survive this, tardigrades have adapted to environmental stresses by undergoing a process known as cryptobiosis. And it's defined by a state where metabolic activity comes to a reversible standstill.
Is it really crypto and not cryo?
Right.
Hi, kitty.
Yeah,
Hello.
So, what they do is they curl up into a ball, and they have all these mechanisms that
Hello. Thank you for stopping on by. Thank you for blessing the stream with your vibes. We are talking about tardigrades. I have the podcast pinned up above. And We are listening to the world's wildest podcast, and this episode is about the world's coldest, and we are talking about tardigrades. This podcast is amazing. It's just learning stuff about animals. Yes. I could also DM you the link if you want, but just the world's wildest podcast. It's the fucking best. No. No. Undo. I'm a slut for animal facts. Yeah, same. I love learning shit. Happy little machine. I'm so sorry. I was distracted talking about tardigrades. Happy little machine. Thank you so much for coming on in. Welcome in. It's so fucking awesome to see you. And also 73 Cosmos. She.
Honestly, not. It'd be hard to translate all that if you're
Let me see.
biosis. And it's defined by a state where metabolic activity comes to a reversible standstill.
Is it really?
Yeah, this stuff is super incredible. They literally just go into like a metabolic freeze. Ugh,
Biosis.
icons.
And it's defined
Thank you
by
for
a state
picking
where
your daily
metabolic activity
Cosmos.
comes to a
Thank you,
reversible
kitty.
standstill.
Is it really crypto, not cryo?
Crypto, yeah, crypto.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
crypto. So
Happy little
there,
machine,
what they
how
do is
are
they curl up into
you?
a ball, and they have all these mechanisms. I was reading that was honestly not.
Oh, and
It'd be hard to
Kitty, this
translate all
is
that. If you're
the
interested, go look it
this
up.
is the
There are
art I'm
articles on it.
doing.
But there's a lot of different like microbiology processes that they do to survive different things, and different species are better at surviving different situations than others. So there's at least 2 species of tardigrade
Yeah.
that produced proteins that are different
I'm
from every other
I'm
animal on Earth.
turning
And
turning
it's
art
dubbed the D sub, short
into
for
vector
damage suppressor.
images.
It binds to DNA and may
Sounds pretty OP.
physically
Yeah,
shield it from
we're gonna
reactive
grow.
forms
You
of
are. You're gonna
oxygen.
grow a little garden.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
Oxygen.
So they're anti-blow up.
Like
They're anti-explode.
what is it? Like rust. What causes rust? I forget.
Oxidation.
Yeah,
Oops.
oxidation. So it's oxidation that's
Actually, I do
huge
need to.
issue with DNA damage.
Okay.
So it protects them from that.
I can't stop thinking about them getting launched into space and being crushed in a lab and boiled in
Yeah.
alcohol.
I mean, imagine all the other things that they did to rule them out.
It's really killing my vibe.
You know? It's
Oh,
sad.
Maya! It's really killing my
So
vibe.
tardigrades have been regenerated or rehydrated from a 100-year-old dried moss that was in a museum. So they could live in stable conditions.
What? They had tardigrades that were in the metabolic stasis, and they were over 100 years old, and they just fucking sprinkle a little water, and they popped up like daisies. That's bananas. The sickness weakens, but still persists. Curse the sickness. I'm glad it's getting weaker. Fuck that. That sickness. It's gonna fuck off. And yay, Monster Hunter Wilds is really good. I'm so glad you're having fun with that. I've been watching a couple of people play it. It looks amazing. It looks so fun. And I'm so happy that you're enjoying it. Like, that's the most important part. I'm so excited for you. Also, the graphics are crazy. Like, that game is beautiful. It's kind of, it's like a lot. It's like, how is it so detailed?
For hundreds of years, probably.
Like not dormant in that like they were alive in
They were
dried.
dormant. They were dormant, and then you put water on them, and they wake up.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, they're in that ball state for 100+ years.
Wow.
And they give them water, and they're
That's so interesting.
good. They've survived 5 mass extinctions. They've been around for millions of years.
Wow.
They are so heavily studied.
Yeah.
So we know a lot about them because they're so unique, and we want to find things like the D sub or the damage suppressor protein, because humans want to use it for ourselves.
Classic.
Classic
So they wanna figure out how to stabilize
human.
vaccines.
Yeah.
'Cause if you could have a vaccine that doesn't need to be refrigerated, could
Right.
go through the
Could go
desert
crazy.
and be
Yeah.
fine, or in the Arctic, yeah,
Right.
it saves so much money and you can get it to everybody. Stabilize blood for blood banks. And then the biggest one is engineering crops to be resistant to extreme temperatures.
Oh,
Man,
that's
So-
amazing.
All the GMOs.
should we make merch that says "Justice for Tardigrades" and it's like a little?
If they made this merch, hold on. They're making. I
Should
need
we
it.
Should we make merch that says "Justice for Tardigrades" and it's like a little tardigrade with a astronaut helmet on and he's floating through space crying.
Give them a little picket sign.
He's picketing in space.
No, not the
I would love that.
crying.
I'd wear that everywhere.
I would buy
I love
that.
tardigrades. They're
That's-
so cool.
I would
That's
buy
so
that.
Cool. They're shockingly charismatic for such a small organism. I mean, like charismatic in that they look cute. I don't know that they do much. I mean, they curl into a ball, so like that's cute.
Yeah, I mean they help break down plants, proteins. They
Detritivores. We love a
So if you wanna
detritivore.
find a tardigrade,
Any microscope users?
this is what they're going to look like under the microscope. They're really cool. You can pretty much go to any moss or lichen, dry or wet, that's around you, pick it up, and place it in a shallow dish, such as a petri dish. This is mostly for students. I don't think many people have microscopes laying around. But
Was
you
only
soak
popping in super fast, but now I'm
petri dish
fully
in
invested in
water,
this podcast about the
preferably
future
rainwater, distilled
application
water.
of
They can survive a
tardigrades.
lot, so whatever.
Yes. Yo, Kitty, this is, I don't know what episode this is, like 8 maybe. I'm literally like, this podcast has me so, like, it has me so wrapped up, and I'm like, I just want to learn shit. So like, I'm just gonna be fucking, I'm just gonna keep doing this because it's been really fun so far. I do art and then I play the podcast in the background. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Hold on, I find you. There go. There go. Oh. I love this podcast so much.
Microscopes laying around. But you soak the petri dish in water, preferably rainwater or distilled water. They can
Rainwater.
survive a lot, so whatever. For 3 to 24 hours. Remove and discard excess water from the dish. Shake or squeeze
Whoops.
the moss or lichen clumps over another transparent dish to collect trapped water. Starting on a low objective on the microscope, examine
Oops.
the water. They suggest a stereo microscope. Use a micropipette, or really just however you want to get the water out, to transfer the tardigrades to a slide, which can be observed with a higher power under a calm.
All right, I need a microscope.
And see them like this.
Am I gonna put a
If
microscope?
anybody follows those
Microscope.
directions, you have to tell us.
It's so easy.
If anybody does that, you have to tell us.
I wanna do it.
It's so easy. You just put it in water,
No.
squeeze it out, and look at our microscope.
I appreciate the detailed instructions, but I
You're
don't think any
welcome.
of them are gonna do it.
Oh, I bet we're gonna have so many people do it.
Okay.
I
alright.
bet let's over under 5 or 10. What do you think?
Under
You want to take 5 or 10?
under
Which one?
5.
Under 5. I say over 5. Add us on Twitter, Instagram if you do it. Show us. It'll be over 5.
Tell
And
me,
the loser
tell me your
has to
tardigrade
get water dumped on their head.
secrets.
No.
Okay.
How about if you're the loser, you get water dumped on your head, and if I'm the loser, we just don't talk about it again.
That works. You do like
I
to rub it in my face
fucking love
sometimes.
my
Works for me. No, that's.
Oh. Thank you, Sari
I'm-
Bot. Sweet little
Okay,
baby.
speaking of
I
living in
love
the
Sari
cold,
Bot.
What color is the skin of a polar bear?
Black.
Black.
We buzzed at the same time.
Oh,
That
sorry.
was outrageous.
That was pretty
All
much
right.
exactly the same.
I thought I had that one.
Polar
Sorry.
bear's skin is black.
Oh, should we
Do
go
you
again?
another?
We do
should
another
go-
one.
We should go again.
Okay. Let's. If you're both gonna
Sorry.
know this,
The poor producer, he's like,
what
let me.
are
I need
vultures
to.
known to do to cool off?
Peach.
That is correct.
Good job.
Peach.
Bad.
No.
Because we both knew that one.
Let's. If you're both gonna know
Sorry.
this,
What was the
what are
question?
vultures known to do to cool off?
Oh, what vultures
Siege.
do to cool
That is
off.
correct.
Okay.
Good job.
That feels bad.
Maya feels
'Cause
bad
we
about
all knew that
winning.
one.
That's fine.
Please. She cracks me up.
I'm about to get you on this next section, so don't you worry.
Okay, well.
I got a Q&A section coming up instead of my section.
I love that they're
Are you ready
like,
for my second
oh,
one?
I'm gonna
Yes.
knock
You're
your
not gonna think it's
socks off
impressive
with
'cause you're
fucking
obsessed with
animal
third grades.
facts.
Alright,
It's
uh,
so
For third
fun.
grades.
Wood frogs.
They're just so
Oh,
happy.
they're super cool.
They
I
are
love
cool,
this.
and I think a lot of people know about this. I think they have them in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I was just thinking
right.
about
They
that.
like
Yes. You
suck
gotta lick
on
them.
them. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Ew, not the sucking.
Anyway,
I don't
adult
wanna-
wood frogs are 1.46 to 3.27 inches, which is
Wait. 1.6,
1.4
1.4, okay, to what?
to 3.27.
Huge. Thank you.
37 to 83 millimeters in length. They're found across Canada and the United States. They're everywhere. They eat arachnids. They eat insects, worms, slugs, snails. They're frogs.
Nice.
They're cute little frogs.
Cute
piece of
little
frogs.
Our listeners,
frogs.
we're looking at a picture.
We
It's
love
what you think of when you
frog.
think of a frog, except it's tan instead of green.
Yeah.
That's
it's
it.
cool.
Yeah. So they are undamaged by cold conditions that would kill nearly all other animals. They live in forests where the temperatures can reach negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 62
Sheesh.
degrees Celsius. So they'll live in Alaska where
That's
it gets
crazy.
really cold.
Okay.
And most frogs and other reptiles and amphibians will survive the winter via brumation, which is just hibernation for
Right.
reptiles and amphibians. And what they'll do is they'll go deep underwater so that they're dormant, but their body temperature never falls below freezing. So
Oh.
they're chilling under there.
Right.
So they're not freezing. Wood frogs, they'll just nestle down into leaf litter.
Mhm.
So there's only some leaf litter and some snow above them. Really, there's not a point. They could just be on the surface. They barely burrow themselves.
That's cool.
So in most animals, and I talked about this a little bit when I was talking about IVF and stuff, is freezing means ice crystals form inside of an animal, and that punctures cells, blood vessels. When blood freezes, there's no mechanism for transporting oxygen to our organs, so our organs die, and nutrients to our
Right,
organs,
right,
so the
right.
organs die. Wood frogs, on the other hand, instead of
I think you're absolutely allowed to still
will
complain.
freeze for up to 8 months each.
Because,
year.
like, we're humans, and this is a frog. And, like, this frog is literally doing things that, like, you know, most animals can't. Nah, man. We're allowed to complain about it's cold. Human bodies? Bruh.
That's crazy.
8 months each year. And when I say
Nah.
they're freezing,
Laughs in North
I mean,
UK rain.
they are frozen. We're looking
You're
at a picture
you're
of a
allowed
frog.
to complain.
Imagine a frog that's
It's
frozen.
cold over there.
It's a frozen popsicle
It's
frog.
It's a
cold
frozen
and
popsicle
rainy.
frog. Ice fills up the abdominal cavity, encases the internal organs.
Oh.
The ice crystals form between layers of the skin and muscle. Their eyeballs freeze
It's
over.
fully like it's
Wait, what? This frog is freezing? What is it? Wait, what is happening? Like, this episode is fascinating.
popsicle frog.
It's a frozen popsicle frog. Ice fills up the abdominal cavity, encases the internal organs.
Oh.
The ice crystals form between layers of the skin and muscle. Their eyeballs freeze
It's
over.
fully like it's fully all
It's
the way through.
freaking frozen, man.
Right.
Like, it is frozen. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, it's not actually frozen. It's frozen.
Right.
What?
There's no heartbeat. There's no. It's not breathing.
No
There's
heart-
no brain activity. It's freaking frozen.
That's
Like,
so cool.
Yeah. Wood frogs' livers produce large amounts of glucose as a cryoprotectant, which prevents freezing.
Okay. Yeah.
So essentially, ice is freezing around.
Oh my gosh,
the
Kitty, I
organs,
love
like
that.
encasing the organs, but is not inside the cells themselves. Like, the ice isn't.
Oh.
The cells aren't frozen.
So they're keeping the ice crystals on the outside.
Yeah. And then in the spring, they just thaw.
That's so
like
nice.
with
Excuse
as
me.
it gets warmer, they thaw from the inside out. Their heart will just start beating. Their brain will activate, and then their little feet will start moving, and then they'll kind of like every video that they
What?
see, the observations that they do, they like swallow once, and then they're like they start wiggling their feet a little bit, and then
Whoa.
they just freaking hop away.
That's nuts.
It's so crazy. 8 months of being frozen, and then they just come back to life.
Man, ice.
Wait, so they literally from the inside out start to like warm themselves up and then the heart starts beating? What the fuck? I know, Kitty, I know. I've learned so much interesting stuff. I am, like I said, I'm obsessed with this fucking podcast. I love this. I, what in the hell? Hold on. I'm just backing it up because what the fuck?
Nice.
With as it gets warmer, they thaw from the inside out. Their heart will just start beating, not
Yeah.
inside the cells themselves. Like the ice isn't, the cells aren't frozen.
So they're keeping the ice crystals on the outside.
Yeah. And then in the spring, they just thaw.
That's so
like
nice.
With as
Oh my
it
God,
gets warmer, they
amazing.
thaw from the inside out. Their heart will just start beating. Their brain will activate, and then their little feet will start moving, and then they'll kind of like every video that they've seen or the observations that they do, they like swallow once, and then they're like they start wiggling their feet a little bit, and then
Whoa.
they just freaking hop away.
That's wild.
It's so crazy. 8 months of being frozen, and then they just come back to life.
Man, ice cream's bad after what, 3 or 4 months in the freezer?
Ice cream
survive
lasts
8?
a lot longer than that.
It gets all crystally and gross.
Yeah. So I
They
have
do so
lots of
well.
questions, or we have lots of questions because we've studied wood frogs.
Right.
Because we're
We have
humans and that's what
questions.
We
do.
want to do this to ourselves so we can ship ourselves off into space to go rescue the tardigrades.
Yeah. One, why can their blood just stop circulating and never clot? Right? Like
Oh, that's a good
kind of
point.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So why do they
amazing.
have no blood clots or other injuries from their blood not circulating? Two,
Do you have
they're
answers to
using-
these?
Huh?
Do you have answers to these?
no.
Oh, okay. We're still learning.
These
Gotcha.
are questions that we want to answer.
Gotcha. That's really good research.
I would
Okay.
have a lot of money if I had answers to all these
I was
questions.
about to be my mind's blown. It's already blown. Would it be blown even more?
So they're using glucose to avoid to avoid their cells freezing, right? They can tolerate blood sugar levels 100 times higher than normal without damage. Human diabetics can't tolerate blood sugar levels, or they suffer at 2 times higher than normal blood sugar levels.
Okay.
Frogs can do 100 times higher than normal levels.
That's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
That's
like,
a lot of sugar.
well, the blood percentage is like
Just
10% sugar.
insane. So we
Instead
can
of, like,
learn a lot
0.01.
about
Yeah.
diabetes in
Right.
humans
Oh,
potentially
cool. Okay.
from them.
What?
How
Let's
can the organs be frozen
go.
and thawed for long periods of time? So for transplants,
Let's
How can we-
wait. Let's fucking go. Imagine rummaging for ice cream. No. No, 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 no. No.
just
10% sugar.
insane.
That's-
so we
Instead
can
of,
learn
like,
a lot
0.01.
about
Yeah.
diabetes.
So
Right.
10%?
100 times higher than normal without
Okay. Damn.
swallow once, and then they're like.
And
they
I went
start
too far
wiggling
back.
their
It's
feet a little
fine.
bit, and then
Whoa.
they just freaking hop away.
That's nuts.
It's so crazy. 8 months of being frozen, and then they just come back to life.
Man, ice cream's bad after what, 3 or 4 months in the freezer?
I
and
think
they
ice cream
survive
lasts
8?
a lot longer than that.
It gets all crystally and gross.
Yeah. So I
They
have
do so
lots of
well.
questions, or we have lots of questions because we've studied wood frogs
Right.
because we're humans and that's what we
We
do.
want to do this to ourselves so we can ship ourselves off into space to go rescue the tardigrades.
Yeah.
Living in
One,
ruins.
why can their blood just stop circulating and never clot? Right? Like
Oh, that's a good
kind of
point.
crazy.
Yeah.
So why do they have no blood clots or other injuries from their blood not circulating? Two,
Do you have
they're
answers to
using-
these?
All right,
Do
here
you
we
have
go.
answers to these?
no.
Oh, okay. We're still learning. Gotcha.
These are questions that we want to answer.
Gotcha. That's really good research.
I would
Okay.
have a lot of money if I had answers to all these
I was
questions.
about to be my mind's blown. It's already blown. Would it be blown even more?
So they're using glucose to avoid to avoid their cells freezing, right? They can tolerate blood sugar levels 100 times higher than normal without damage. Human diabetics can't tolerate blood sugar levels, or they suffer at 2 times higher than normal blood sugar levels.
Okay.
Frogs can do 100 times higher than normal levels.
That's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
That's like, well, the blood percentage is like
Just
10% sugar.
insane. So we
Instead
can
of, like,
learn a lot
0.01.
about
Yeah.
diabetes in
Right.
humans potentially
Oh, cool. Okay.
from them.
Living in ruins.
How can the organs be frozen and thawed for long periods of time? So for transplants, like
Okay.
how can we extend the time in between transplanting an organ
That's cool.
to other
Okay,
people?
this is not
And-
the canvas
freeze Disney's
size
brain
that I
properly,
want.
so we can transplant that in the future to an AI machine, so we can have the brilliance of Disney back.
I have terrible news for you
But
about Disney. You know what I learned today?
no.
The Lion King, they cut a scene. It was cut, so like
Okay.
in their defense, they cut it. But did you know that Scar was trying to get at Nala?
I mean, that seemed like it.
In The
Hello?
Lion King?
Have you even seen Lion King?
No. Well, I just watched the animated one, or the one where it's like, not CGI, like animated,
Yeah.
the recent one,
Oh, you watched that one.
not the cartoon.
Well, you didn't watch the cart.
I haven't seen
I'm
the cartoon yet.
disappointed in you.
My point, okay, I'm trying to
Kitty,
get
I
this
hope you
right.
have a wonderful one.
Scar
Enjoy
went
your
for Nala,
snacks
Yeah.
and enjoy the
um,
podcasts
and
that you
it
listen
was a
to
whole
you
scene. Like he
on
was
your
like, "You're
commute
gonna be the
tomorrow.
queen," and she
I
was
am
like, "No,
interested
not
to
you." And then
see
he was
what
like,
you
"All right,
think.
then be banished." And she's like, "What? You can't
Have a
do
good
that?" And
night,
then he brought
you
all the hyenas out.
lovely leaf.
Well, first of all, he was
Thank
I
like,
thought we already
you.
did this.
Thank you for saying
"No,
hi.
in that scene."
Oh, okay.
Thank
He
you,
like
thank
sang her a song, and he
you.
was like, "You don't have a choice.
Oh.
Like,
Thank
you're
you,
gonna be my
thank
queen." And she's like, "No, I
you.
don't want to." And then he was like, "I'm gonna banish you." And then she's like, "No, you can't do that." So he brought out all his hyenas, and they chased her
Much
away.
love, big
Yeah.
And that's where she
loves.
left.
Hugh, yeah.
Oh.
But also, it's a really problematic age gap. I'm gonna say it.
What's the age? I don't even know the age. gap.
What the movie that I saw, Scar was a grown man, and she was a little baby.
Oh, Nala is.
Nala is Simba's friend from when
Oh.
she was a cub.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
That took me a second. Sorry. I forgot Simba's mom. I forgot her name.
I don't know.
But Simba's
But that'd be
girlfriend.
really messed up if he went for her mom too, because that's his brother's
went for a
wife.
cub. That's gross.
His brother who he killed? His wife?
I mean, it's Animal Kingdom.
Why is he? Where did the Lion King factor
But,
into
no,
this?
that's
Don't be
crazy.
messy.
So
That's
funny.
crazy.
No, going for a cub. That wouldn't even happen.
Hello. Oh
in
my
the real world.
gosh. Hi.
That's nuts.
Anyway, sorry. That was a tangent. I learned that today. Sorry to ruin your favorite movie. I also ruined your
The
favorite movie. In
Avatar.
Pride Month
The Avatar.
anyway, my
Corgi.
question.
Sorry, the
This
Avatar
answer
Corgi.
is so funny to me. Maybe it's not funny at all.
Yeah.
But
How
I was
are
like, Why do
you?
these frogs do this and no other frogs?
Okay.
Like,
I am doing good. I'm doing good. Having a lovely day. Been doing some art. Doing some more art. Listen to a podcast. We're learning about animals. What are you doing? How are you? How are you doing? What's the haps? What's the
why do other
haps?
frogs just like go underwater or bury themselves deeper and not freeze?
Right.
So I was like, why wood frogs and not other frogs? And I was like trying to find the answer. And as a scientist at the California Academy of Sciences said, because they're not
That's
very
a
good
mouthful.
at digging.
Oh. Okay.
Cal Academy? You've never been to Cal Academy?
No.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, a scientist at Cal Academy was like, well, they're not very strong at digging.
Oh, sad.
And I was like, I'm sorry, you're telling me evolutionarily that it was easier to learn how to freeze for 8 months out of the year and then magically thaw out
No,
and keep
yeah, that's
living
not-
than it is to
Hmm.
learn how to dig better?
That is crazy.
That's so stupid, but I couldn't find a better answer.
But it allows them to have a more northern range too.
But
so-
still
I
hurts
guess-
like
I mean, I
heck.
can see how evolution made that happen, but
I
like you said,
bet.
yeah,
Just
digging
so
would be
funny.
way easier. Wild.
I
Okay.
remember.
It's currently 71
I remember
degrees
you
here.
talking
It's
about it. I'm
been
trying to
40
remember what
minutes. It's gotten
happened
down to
though,
4
but
degrees. My AC
oh my
sucks.
gosh.
I wanted to be 50
I hope
degrees in
it gets better
I feel
soon.
pretty comfy.
Okay. Well, you're not going to feel comfy after I put you to the ringer through 5 multiple choice questions. They're pretty tough. They're about the world's coldest by Animal Kingdom. What do you think? How many will you get right out of 5? A, B, or C, D?
No, cancel.
Oh, okay. You might.
Oh, you just pulled a
might be
muscle.
joking. So, disclaimer.
Oh,
This is what I could find doing research, like reading research papers.
must have been
and looking on the internet
somebody.
for reputable sources. There's no leaderboard out there on this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Must
Maybe
be
we make a leaderboard.
somebody.
But the research is limited.
Must have been somebody
because
that
research is
like
very heavily focused on like tardigrades
hurt their
or wood
foot
frogs or stuff.
recently.
like-
Somebody
so
else did, I
bizarre
think.
that we
That's so
could,
silly.
Utilize them for human endeavors. So, for the first Animal Kingdom, mammals. Which one can survive at the coldest temperatures? Is it A, a polar bear, B, an Arctic fox, C, a Japanese macaque, or D, a
Exactly.
beluga whale?
Stupid feet getting hurt. It's just like we need
No.
them to walk. We
I'll
need
get you
them
to
to
try
like
again.
be stable
not a macaque.
standing, and
Okay.
like they can get hurt so easily.
What are
Like
the
what
first
the
two? Polar bear
actual
and what?
fuck?
Arctic fox.
Polar bear?
Incorrect. It is the Arctic fox.
What the heck?
They're quite small. They're just so good. Okay, so for reference, Arctic fox can live live and actively do their thing at negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 50 degrees Celsius. They don't do a lot at that time. They're not like running around,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like burrowing. They're going around, using the bathroom, stuff like that. Polar bears are good at negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so 8 degrees
Interesting.
warmer, or negative 45 degrees Celsius.
Well,
Yeah,
so
that
far it's
works.
going great.
Beluga whales is around like freezing temperatures, so around 32,
Oh, duh.
around 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
I just
So-
always think that the water's so much
Celsius.
colder, but duh.
Yeah, it doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid. Stupid. Stupid.
All right.
Flat.
Number 2, birds. Which bird can
Ugh.
survive? This isn't survive at the coldest temperature. You might get this one. At coldest temperature. So, A, snowy owl.
That's a trick.
B, repels griffin vulture. C, bald eagle.
Ooh.
D, Arctic tern.
I'm just gonna say D because I feel like A is a trick. I feel like it's not snowy owl.
You're incorrect about Arctic tern, but it's not snowy owl either.
Is it bald eagle?
No.
Dude, I hate this game. I am doing bad.
Ooh, this
repels
brush
griffin
is
vulture, which is
fun.
Why?
Okay, that's
world's
fun.
highest flying vulture.
Isn't this an African vulture?
It is.
Why do they need to do so well in the cold then?
So they were found at 37,000 feet up in the air.
Freaking of course. I keep not thinking. I need to use my brain.
11,300
There's so
meters
many
high,
different
Ugh.
brushes.
which
trying to-
is negative 72 degrees Fahrenheit up there.
Okay.
Or negative 76 or
Okay.
negative 70 or
What's this
60
one?
degrees Celsius. So many numbers.
Oops.
So for reference, Mount Everest is 29,032 feet tall or 8,849 meters tall.
Light work.
So Repel's Griffin vulture
Whoa.
can fly at least 8,000 feet over Mount Everest.
Mhm.
And the reason that they found out about this vulture is
Ooh,
'cause they're
this
out in
is
Bible.
weird.
Sad. Now we can put trackers on these guys and see this, but they can do this. They don't know how they deal with the cold. Granted,
That's
they could just be up there and caught in the
crazy.
thermal and trying to fight its way back down and be up there for like 10 minutes or something.
Oops.
But they can go super high because they have air sacs in their body.
Oh,
that
this
they will,
is the
absorb oxygen,
brush.
have concentrated oxygen in those air sacs, so they can go
This
up. And have
is the
stores of oxygen,
brush.
like oxygen tanks, to go up that high.
Okay.
So that's how they can do that. So Maya is 0 for 2
Okay.
Oh,
last
that's so
you might
fun.
get.
Okay, hold on.
because it's only A, B, and C. So
Okay.
you have a 33.333% chance to get this.
Lurky while I
Reptiles.
play. Well, you know
Hey,
what? Thank you so much,
European
Corgi. Thank
Adder?
you from
Adder.
so much for the
I'm gonna butcher this
lurk.
one. B.
Mostly, thanks for
Viviparous
coming
lizard.
to say hi. I appreciate it.
Right,
It's
V-
lovely to see you.
It's VIVI.
I hope you have a good day as
Porous
well.
lizard.
I am sure
Viviparous.
I might
Or
see
C,
you
garter snake.
in the Twitch sphere.
What was the first one?
European adder. Which one?
Adder.
Adder.
That's bananas.
It's a type of snake.
I don't know
Found in
anything about the second one, so I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with garter snake.
Hey, correct.
Hey!
So garter snakes have been studied because they can do pretty well and still function in cold environments.
They're everywhere too.
Yeah, they are. All Europe, types of garter snakes all around the world.
Mhm.
So they can live or they can function at 23 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 5 degrees Celsius,
Cool.
which is really cold for a reptile.
Yeah.
So doing really well. All right, number 4, arthropods.
Okay.
I'm gonna butcher. No, I got this one. A, Cryptopygus antarcticus. Cryptopygus
You're
antarcticus.
gonna be scientific names. There's no shot. I
It's a
have
type
no
of
shot.
springtail.
Ha.
Springtail. Micro springtail, technically. Dementius frozae, or northern scorpion.
The first one.
Hey, good job.
Hooray!
Oh,
So it's a type of
interesting.
springtail. They're tiny. They live up to negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 30 degrees Celsius. When it starts getting cold, they bring in antifreeze components into their bodies, so they still
Hooray!
function really well at that level. The second one, Dementius frozae, I made up because I couldn't find any other arthropods
Oh.
that kind of made sense in that category. All right, number 5.
Ah, here we
last one
go. Rectangle.
beat your over under.
Okay.
Fish. Arctic tooth, or A, an Arctic toothfish. B, an Antarctic dragonfish. Or C, a polar grouper.
I'm just gonna say polar grouper because I know they live really deep down, which sounds colder.
I made that one up.
Oh.
It is Antarctic dragonfish.
Oh.
They can live up to 28.5 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 1.9 degrees Celsius. Congratulations.
Wow.
You did 2 out of 5. You did good.
Hooray!
So you said you were going to get one.
I'll take it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you for watching this episode of World's Wildest, our world's coldest. Perfect time of year to do world's coldest episode, right?
Nice and hot.
Yeah.
100 degrees out. Love it.
Excellent. Great.
Too hard.
Make sure to go check us out on Patreon if you want some extra content. We do extra videos on there. We just did an animal sound guessing game.
About
Killed
to
it.
do another one.
Yeah, we're about to do another one right now.
I study for it.
Oh,
So I don't get embarrassed like you embarrassed me last
crazy.
time.
I did not study.
Beat you.
Oh
You
my
can buy
gosh,
mugs
please.
if you want, and then if you're watching us on YouTube, hello, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
You can get us on wherever you get your podcasts, and if you give us a 5-star review, that would be super helpful.
You're giving cookies out, right?
Yeah, you get a cookie if you get if you give us a 5-star review. Thank you very much. See you on the next episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Let's see what's going on. Ad break. Excuse me. Let us see. Let's go see who's live. I'm going to go do some stuff, and then I will be back later. I will absolutely be doing another stream today. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pretty. Thank you. Hey, Adam. Hello. Thank you, Happy Little Machine. Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you. Oh my God, I love when I get a fresh shave. It's so good. And then you're going to go get meds. Yes, let's go. Hopefully I will see you later, Pretty. We'll do a smoke together. I'm trying to see who's on. But I also might just vibe. Excuse me. Alrighty. Oh, Mordred, who do you have, friend? Let me know. All right. Yeah. Very fun. Let's go raid Whiskey Keys. I do not know much about this person, but Mordred said. Mordred, oops, not the fucking, be unmuted. I'm sorry. All right. Bless. Okay. If anybody would like to copy and paste a little raid message, please do. Please go ahead and feel free to copy and paste the raid message. Mordred has given us some lovely places to be, and I'm very excited to see what is up. Let's go share some of the love, the hype, the good shit. Let's go spread some love. Let's go spread some love. All right, y'all, you know what to do. Even if you can't say hi, or even if you can't pass the raid message, you can say hi. It would mean a lot to me. And if you can't join the raid, understandable. I will be back. I will be back, y'all. Cheers and raiders. Roll out.